The primary job at Christ School is to develop a young man and his future. Coming to a school like this, they get to be the captain of their own ship. They get to make choices that have benefits. Learning to do business with adults and being their own self-advocate, I don't know if there's anything more important than that.
Yeah, relationships are at the core of what we do. We don't want people to just be passengers throughout this entire experience. We want them to be drivers.
When my son came as a 9th grader, it was kind of normal. You met your teacher on the first day of class. But after you've been here a year, it's so wonderful because by the time you go into, let's say, 10th grade and you go to see your teachers for the first time, you've already probably either had them as a coach or had meals with them in the dining hall.
I think that the relationship with teachers, especially from my experience, is just really close. So it's small classes, really intimate with the teacher. Even during extra help or after school, you can schedule meetings or even just show up.
I came to Christ School this year, so it's just been really supportive. Everybody's been really nice, and I've already met a lot of people. I can go someplace and all of the teachers know my name, which is just a great experience that you can't get in a lot of places.
Each boy comes here with a narrative, with experiences, with quirks, with a sense of humor. We like that. What we want to do is to develop that. So at graduation, I've got an 18-year-old boy crossing the stage that's fully engaged and fully functional and ready for the next step in his life.
The way the teachers teach, totally boy-centered, because they know through research that boys like a louder voice. They like a teacher that's moving around the room. The boys want to interact with the teacher.
I've gotten into things, digital photography, like that I wouldn't usually do at home or at another school.
The course load is difficult in a way, but you have people who can support you and help you through it.
The Christ School campus is located in a very unique area. We're 8 miles from downtown Asheville and all the amenities that they offer. But more importantly, we have these 500 pristine acres where a boy can be a boy. If he wants to run through the woods, if he wants to fish, if he wants to ride his mountain bike through the 5 miles of cut trails, this is just an awesome venue.
For boys, it's a dream world here in the mountains with so many outdoor adventure sports all around that they can get to quickly, but at the same time to have what downtown Asheville offers with all of the arts and the different activities. It's just a perfect location for this school.
There's a bond here, there's a brotherhood where they watch each other's backs, they support each other, whether it's on the stage in drama, whether it's on the football field, whether it's on a community service trip. There is a special camaraderie here that you can only really experience if you come and see it and meet our young men. It is one of the most impressive things and the thing that I'm probably most proud of here at Christ School.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this Christ School Broadcast Network production of Christ School Lacrosse. I'm Bobby Long alongside my partner and Christ School senior Will Smoots, bringing you the first ever live broadcasted Christ School Lacrosse game. This game will feature visiting John Carroll School from Maryland and York Christ School Greenies. Now, John Carroll, a perennial powerhouse from the Northeast, comes into the game having won the last 3 Maryland state championships. Now, they come into this game, however, 1-5. They've played some of the top competition so far in the Northeast and have a lot of college players on their team, prospects, so they're not to be underestimated. The Greenies, on the other hand, come into the game with a 7-1 record, having last played on March 24th, defeating Lake Norman 14-8 here at home. Will, I'm excited to be sitting next to you today, getting ready for this matchup. What are some things you're looking for the Greenies, who are coming off a 2-week stint without a game?
Well, first off, it should be a great game, and I think we're both expecting that. But the thing I'm looking forward to, and hopefully the Greenies can get off to a fast start. I think that's the biggest key for them. The offense gets a fast start and on the scoreboard early, then the defense will have some confidence going later on in the game. Coach Miles mentioned as well that the Greenies just need to play their game. I mean, so far this season, they're 7-1, and they've been playing their game, and it's working. Another thing is they'll have to push the ball in transitions, which helps for a fast start. And defensively, as long as they communicate and have their matchups the whole game, I think Coach Miles has it set up so that defense can do a good job this afternoon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When speaking with him earlier this week, he really mentioned pushing the ball. He kept saying, play our game, get some transition goals. That's one thing that they're definitely going to look for. And as we just said, the Greenies are coached by Jeff Miles, who created the lacrosse program here 17 years ago. Christ School won its first state championship in school history last season when they won by a state record 16 goals in the state championship. But this is a special game for Coach Miles, as he is an alumni of John Carroll, who he's welcomed here today. The Knights, on the other hand, are coached by Brian King in his 4th year with the team, and in his first 3 years at John Carroll resulted in state championships. So, they might have a 1-5 record, but we know that this team has talent. They're well coached, and, they've been there before. So it's a match that we're all excited for, and, I'm glad you guys are here watching the first ever broadcasted game in Christ School history. When speaking with Jeff earlier in the week, I asked him, I said, what is it going to be like looking out on the field, seeing the team that you played for and for the program that you started? And he said, I think it's going to be really symbolic of the growth here that we've seen at Christ School. And when he thought of starting this program here, he said, I want to build a program, one with the quality that I played in the Northeast, and try and build that here in North Carolina. So, not just to be able to play them and welcome them here on campus, but also to hopefully beat that team as well. So it's symbolic of the growth that this program that we've seen. They had a couple semifinal bursts in a row. They made the state championship. They lost 9-7 to Ravenscroft. Last year was kind of a redemption year that we saw them at the best record in school history and eventually win a state championship. So to see John Carroll in the jerseys, for him, it's got to be a kind of a weird situation, but also exciting for Coach Miles.
Yeah, and there's no question he's definitely created that quality here at Christ School. I mean, we've seen over the past 4 years, at least, the growth that Christ School has had with students coming in freshman year and just being on varsity all 4 years and bringing more people in, and it's become almost a powerhouse in the state of North Carolina, no question, and even the South.
We got Jack McLaughlin who'll be taking the face-off here. It's one of the things we've seen so far this year. When our face-off guys, Jack McLaughlin and Sean Dow, are being successful, they're playing well. We've really seen that sort of success from the team.
And Coles Manning's going to be called for a crease violation, so John Carroll's going to have their first possession of the game.
You know, tough situation right there. That would have been nice to put a score home in the first 10 seconds of the game, but you know, that was that fast start you were hoping for. But it looks like John Carroll's kind of going to relax here and play some offense.
Yeah, and John Carroll has several Division I commits. Talking with Coach Miles, he said that as long as Alex Byron, Will McNichol, Spencer Dyer, the defensive guys, they stay on their matchups, it's going to be a tough time for John Carroll to score, and they're going to have to make them earn it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we see Will McNichol's out there, Spencer Dyer, Luke Brzezinski.
As John Carroll, with their first shot and first possession, they get on the scoreboard early.
It looked like they were in a man defense there. They seemed to be a little confused, trying to figure out whose man that was that scored. Hopefully that's something that we can get figured out. Nice defense there by McLaughlin and Max Bree, picked up by Hunter Vines. And I'm telling you, I don't know many people, if anybody, that can really stay with Hunter Vines. As a great shot saved there by John Carroll. Offensively right now we're seeing Coles Manning, Davis Lindsay, Sean Dow. We got number 16, Zach Grindy, as well as Jack Harrison, who just joined Christ School this year from Charlotte.
Yeah, and what the Greenies have been really focusing on the past 2 weeks is offensive ball movement. I mean, they know they can get the shots as long as everybody's running through the motions and looking for the open guys as Davis Lindsay loses the ball and John Carroll picks up possession.
Yeah, it looked like the John Carroll team there was hoping for a award to be called on Davis Lindsay, but it looks like the refs weren't willing to play ball there. You know, that's tough. So number one kind of just ran all the way from midfield with the ball. It looked like once again we kind of saw, you know, some communication issues there from Christ School. As, you know, just 3 minutes into the game, it's already 2-0 in favor of John Carroll. John Carroll drove down here yesterday from Maryland, and they'll play Christ School today. Tomorrow they will head down to Dorman, South Carolina, to play there as this is part of their spring break trip. Great defense there by Spencer Dyer. Picked up by number 12, that's Marcus Berger. Just in terms of momentum, this would be a great time for Christ School to get a goal. There you go. We saw Davis Lindsay to Hunter Vines. You know, Hunter Vines, that will be his 30th goal on the season in just our 9th game. Hunter is quickly climbing the all-time scoring list at Christ School. And, you know, he is one of the quickest, toughest players I've ever seen. And, you know, it's really difficult to guard him one-on-one, so he makes those cuts into the crease. It is, or near the crease, it's difficult for anyone to really keep track of him. And that was Davis Lindsay's 20th assist on the season.
As John Carroll, they win their third straight face-off.
Did a good job getting back there by Jack McLawhorn. Really looks like this John Carroll subbing here has made it difficult for some of our players to realize, trying to figure out who they're picking up, which is why we saw those 2 goals early, as it's 2-1 in favor of John Carroll, with 8:20 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, another big key factor to this game is face-offs, because to me it seems like both of these teams, well-coached teams, well-balanced as well, and at the end it's got to be the team with more possessions going to come away with the win.
Absolutely, and another important thing is, we have to understand John Carroll's going to get their shots. Bo Hekimovich this year has been fantastic in goal. I think he already has about 53 saves, so, we got to have a big game from him as well as the defense. Defense is going to try and do their job, but, it comes down to, can we get face-offs? Can we have good goalie play? Which is one of the things, actually, I asked Coach Miles earlier in this year. We have 3 fantastic goalies on the roster. We have Farrell Lale, we have Sam Bree. All of them just freshmen and sophomores on this roster. And, he said they all push each other, all really talented. All 3 are going to play college lacrosse, which is great. And it's not just that. They work hard. They're great kids and really complement each other. A lot of times you see a situation where you have guys who are competing for the starting spot, and they're not always, wishing success for those guys. But, Coach Miles said these 3, practice together, they hang out together. So it's great to see that from our goalies who have been fantastic so far this season.
As Max Bree is going to be sent to the box for a penalty. I believe a slashing call for 1 minute.
With the patience in which John Carroll plays, the last thing we want to be is man down. We really got to try and, hold off John Carroll in these situations and really not get in too many of them.
So emo for John Carroll. Christ School needs a big stop here as 2 shots fly by, and
they are not hesitating to get shots off here in man-up situation, really trying to take advantage. Out on defense right now, Spencer Dyer, Will McNichols, Alex Byron, number 12, Marcus Berger, and Hagen Brooks.
So good rotation there by Christ School as Hagen Brooks deflects it, but John Carroll maintains possession, and a old-fashioned wheel play there for John Carroll. Had a good look.
Greenies doing a great job so far. Just 20 seconds left until this penalty is over. John Carroll's already gotten 3 shots. 1 was deflected, 2 missed goals. So hopefully we can hold off here, get our man in before we, before they can take advantage. All right, great save there by Bo Hekimovich, and he was able to beat out the John Carroll player and successfully man down situation, took care of it.
Yeah, so Greenies need a big-time clear right here as Marcus Berger is going to get it across midfield. Excuse me, Zach Grenny, number 16. So the Greenies, great job there, killing the penalty.
Oh, there we go. We got a pass from Marcus Berger to Hunter Vines for his 2nd goal of the game, 31st on the season. And we were talking before the game about how difficult it really is to guard Hunter one-on-one. Last year we had Joey Sinque, Riley Smith, Will Iorio, Hunter Vines on defense. They really had to choose who they wanted to ward off. Some games it'd be Riley, some games it would be Hunter Vines. And, this year they've really tried to keep him from getting the ball, but so far 2 shots, 2 goals for Hunter Vines, as it makes it 2-2 now with 5:56 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes going forward with the season against some of these top teams around the nation, and see how Hunter reacts when drawing the double early, and seeing how the other players on the team, such as Davis Lindsay, Jack Harrison, how they get open.
That was the first face-off there for Sean Dow. He did a good job of getting it to an open man. Davis Lindsay behind the net. Now Zach Grindy back to Hunter Vines. Tough pass there, number 20. Will Dodenhoff diving out of bounds, trying to save it. Looks like he did. On offense, we got Harrison, Dodenhoff, Lindsay, Grindy, Manning, and Vines. Good patience so far, good ball movement. Coles Manning with the shot, deflected. It will remain with Christ School. Jack Harrison taking it out. That shot attempt by Davis Lindsay. All right, there you have a pass from Jack Harrison to number 22, Davis Lindsay. Christ School really did a fantastic job spreading out John Carroll's defense. Kind of looked like they had some of the guys at the top there acting as decoys. Some of the John Carroll players looking around trying to figure out who was open. Davis Lindsay snuck in there for a great pass and catch and shoot.
Yeah, and that's a similar play that Christ School ran all the time last year with that attack trio and Lindsay, Iorio, and Joey Sinkyu. A two-man game behind the crease and one guy waiting for any kind of commitment from a defender, any kind of slide, and just finds him right on the crease.
That was Jack Harrison's 9th assist on the season. Davis Lindsay now with 13 goals. Just a sophomore. Looks like they're going to call a award on McLaughlin, who won the face-off. We'll really have to say after those, first minute and a half, we talked about getting off to an early start. John Carroll really took advantage as there's a great steal by Max Bree. Unfortunately, gives it away. Down 2-0 early. It looked like the guys were, feeling some of that rust after not playing for 2 weeks, but now we're up 3-2 with the momentum. Looks like they really started to take advantage of some good passing and winning those faceoffs.
Yeah, so right now, both teams at 50% face-off-wise. This is what we were talking about, how evenly matched these teams are. So we've got a good game on our hands, and I think it'll come down to wire. And John Carroll with another shot. So far, I've noticed they know to go low on Bo Hekimovic, the goalkeeper, because they see he's a big guy, and most teams try to go high on Bo so far this season, and it has not worked out at all.
Yeah, like you said, Coach King for John Carroll. 3 years at John Carroll, 3 state championships. This team is well coached. They're going to know what to do. Down 3-2 early, they're not going to be fazed by this. Like we mentioned at the beginning, they're 1-5, but those 5 losses have come against some top teams in the Northeast. So they're definitely not fazed about being down early.
That's a muff shot. It was safe?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, good save there by Hekimovic. It's hard to see from up here in the booth.
Well, speaking of the booth, one of the exciting things is that we're able to bring this game to you today on the broadcast network because this booth has been built seemingly in the last month. You got a brand new booth here that will be able to broadcast and bring to you, some sporting events like track, soccer, and here lacrosse. So we're excited to have this and bring this unique opportunity after such an amazing, season last year and really such growth in the program. It's great to be able to bring you live lacrosse and really showcase not only what Coach Miles has built, but the excitement that we have on campus for lacrosse.
Yeah, and that was a great pass there by Alex Byron up to Zach Grindy. So far, Greenies doing a great job clearing the ball, and that's another key factor. Limited turnovers means more possessions, so we'll see how they keep that up going forward.
I think one of the things that we're really going to see, unfortunately, as that pass bounces off the stick of Sean Dow, is that after those first 2 goals from Hunter Vines, John Carroll is really going to not only have one guy on him, but have one guy sitting behind to make it difficult for him to get a good shot off. Is a great play there by Vines. Looks like there's going to be a penalty on John Carroll. So Jack Harrison gave that ball up. However, we have a man-up situation. Let's see what the penalty was for. So number 31 on John Carroll with a body check. That'll be a minute penalty. That's starting at 1:07 remaining in the first quarter. So he'll be released late in the first. Hopefully Christ School can take advantage of this man-up situation. This will be the first one for Christ School. John Carroll had one earlier. They got 4 shots off, but were unable to take advantage. It'd be nice to, after being down 2-0 early, for Christ School to take advantage of this situation with 4 unanswered goals and go into the second quarter with a 2-goal lead.
So Greenies now going to have to double. Still a lot of time left on that penalty as Hunter Vines stripped John Carroll.
Got a timeout from John Carroll. So at 29.3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Christ School leads the John Carroll Patriots from Maryland 3-2 after being down 2-0 early. We have 2 goals from senior Hunter Vines, 1 from Lindsay, an assist from Lindsay, Harrison, and Marcus Berger. So the Christ School is still man up for the next 22 seconds after that turnover. They're going to be double teaming here in an effort to get it back. So 2-1, man up is over for the Greenies. 6 seconds left. Looks like that shot will end the quarter. Actually, going to have to put about 1.5 seconds left on the clock. It looks like they're going to put 3 seconds back on the clock because it wasn't stopped when the whistle was blown. Greenies got to make sure they match up here. All right, we had a save there by Bo Hekimovich. It is 3-2 Christ School over the Patriots of John Carroll out of Maryland here in the early going. Greenies down 2-0 early. Come back with goals from Vines and Lindsay to take the lead heading into the second.
So far, what have you been impressed with?
You know, one of the things that you mentioned before the game started was ball movement was one of the things they've been working on, offensive ball movement. And, you know, I think that's how we scored. All 3 of our goals were assisted by Berger and Lindsay. And, you know, our guys were making great cuts in the lane. So I think that's one of the things that they've taken advantage of and really playing our game. You know, I'm also impressed with the fact that after going down 2-0 early in their first game in 2 weeks, you know, they took a deep breath, got back into the game, and now lead. So, you know, kudos to them for sticking with it and not getting discouraged early. But, you know, I think that's one of the things about the Christ School team that we've seen over the years is that after, you know, we've been playing great competition, welcoming teams from South Carolina, from Maryland, you know, playing teams. And you just had the King of Spring tournament. We played some fantastic teams, not only from North Carolina, but from the Northeast. And so I think, you know, continuing to play those teams, playing better competition, is leaving Christ School unfazed in these situations. So I think, you know, it's good to see that going or keep going, and hopefully here we can take advantage of the momentum that we had going into this second quarter.
And so, violation on John Carroll. Christ School's going to get the first possession of this second quarter as Hunter Vines picks it up. And Zach Grindy with a good look, just missed high. Fantastic ball movement right there. That's that transition offense, fast break that Christ School is looking for.
Defensively, we're going to see James Lilly here in a second, as it looks like they're going to say no goal.
Crease violation, and this is bad for the Greenies. John Carroll off to a fast break.
Yeah, he didn't really blow the whistle loud enough to let the Greenies know that it wasn't a goal. It looks like defensively they got back in time, but for a while there, it looked like a great fast break opportunity for John Carroll.
And the rain is slowly starting to come in here in the second quarter, so we'll see how the players react. They probably won't be fazed, though.
A tough shot there by number 14 for the Patriots. If in panning back to the other side of the field, you see a tent, don't be disturbed. That was just put there to protect the scoreboard.
As looked like a pass, and Max Bree doing a great job to get in the passing lane, deflecting it. So John Carroll going to maintain possession. Good long possession here for them as they need it.
Good step up there by number 4, Alex Byron. Great defensive, near takeaway. Unfortunately, as he knocked it out, it went right into the hands of another Patriot player. Defensively up top right now, you see James Lilly and number 5, Luke Brzezinski.
As Bo Hekimovich with another great save.
Here we go. Here's that transition opportunity right now. It is a 4-on-3 with the speed of Vines. All right, so a flag has been thrown, and a tough left-handed goal by number 34 from the Patriots. And it looks like they will also be in man up. Not quite sure what happened there. But with the quick turnover by the Greenies, unfortunately, I think Sean Dow was running on the field and had to come back off to get a defensive player out there. And with that, John Carroll was able to take advantage. Looks like they're going to – did they wave the flag off?
It looks like they're going to wave the flag off. Usually most of the time you see if there's a possession and there's a flag called and the team scores, if it's anything other than a technical foul, they will maintain – it will be a man-down face-off. But I guess that was a push in the back. So I don't know exactly what the call was, but the Greenies – they are even right now as Sean Dow wins the face-off.
Great pass over to Grindy to Davis. Man, swarming defense from John Carroll there.
And things starting to get physical now here in the second quarter. As John Carroll successfully clears it. And they'll get a chance to take the lead here with this possession.
Good defense there by Byron to get back in it as the Patriots will take it out.
And if you watch, as soon as John Carroll back is turned, the Greenies are sitting at an immediate double. It's one of the things Coach Miles talked about during practice this past week, as Zach Grindy gets a big-time ground ball and is going for the fast break, finds it to Davis Lindsay, and he scores.
What a play. Zach Grindy was holding off 2 defenders there, able to make a pass over to Lindsay. Lindsay on his knees picks it up, puts it home. That was a great defense by the Greenies, taking advantage of the transition, pushing the ball, and scoring there. That was big. We got a good contingent of Christ School fans over there, braving the rain, getting pretty jacked up, which is exciting to see.
And so this is one of those examples when it is a man-down face-off. So there's a cross-check right after the play. Greenie scored, and so the penalty will still stand. That was on number 10 for John Carroll.
Sean Dowd taking the face-off for the Greenies. Looks like he will successfully get that and the ground ball. Offensively, we see Vines, Manning, Dow, Grindy, Lindsay, and Jack Harrison in the back.
So Greenies about turned it over there, but they're going to get no chance. Zach Grindy from deep. Nice bounce shot there with the pass from Hunter Vine. So the extra man offense for the Greenies successful this time around.
Yeah, so they are 1 for 2 on man-up possessions. Almost turned it over there again, just like they did the first time, but we're able to take advantage now, 1 for 2. And I believe that John Carroll is 0 for 1 so far. Man, what a shot by Grindy there. Grindy joining us this year. Was an All-American in Virginia. Glad to have him on the team this year. He's got 12 goals for the Greenies, 8 assists, an all-around player.
Yeah, and he's made a huge impact in his first year here. I mean, he's stepped up to the role of playing attack with Marshall McDill being injured. Normally a midfielder, but just shows his athletic ability.
So McLaughlin wins the face-off, turns it over on an attempted pass to Grindy. But, I would say here in the last 6 or 7 face-offs where our percentage is slowly increasing, which is why you see a 2-goal lead here with under 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Turnover. A couple times now, I think, if you see what they're doing defensively, they're really letting the goalie for John Carroll bring the ball up, and they force him now into 2 turnovers as he tried to make a tough pass across his body between the legs of a John Carroll player.
Yeah, and the conditions are changing, so that's one of the things we're noticing, more drop passes maybe because of the rain. It's starting to come down even more.
It's Jack Harrison with the ball behind the net. Turnover there. Dyer attempts to save it. Unfortunately, the ball will go to the Patriots.
And Bo Hekimovich with a great save.
Talking about going low, I would say that is the 8th or 9th consecutive shot attempt that has gone low. Bo did a great job there getting down and getting the save.
Yeah, Bo's best attribute is that he can read the ball coming out of someone's stick so well, and always he really doesn't have to guess. He just predicts where they're going because of their stick angle, and that's why he has about 60 saves so far this season.
Yeah, Bo is just a sophomore. He has been and started for Christ School as an 8th grader, as a freshman last year. And now it's a sophomore. So to think that the Christ School program is going to be lucky enough to have him for an additional 2 years after this one is amazing.
As Davis Lindsay shoots that one hard. Looks like the John Carroll goalie got a piece of it, but also looked like it hit pipe. So Greenies will keep the possession.
Offense, we got Lindsay with the ball, Harrison, Grindy, Vines, Dow, and Coles Manning. Out of the guys on offense right now, just one senior for the Greenies. Christ School last year lost the 2 all-time leading goal scorers and the points leader for the Christ School in all-time history, in Smith and Iorio, as well as Joey Sing-Q, all playing Christ School lacrosse, all playing collegiate lacrosse at Coast Guard, at Rollins, and High Point University. So to see the slack in which these new guys have really picked up has been impressive and exciting for Coach Miles.
You're right, and it's hard to bounce back not hard to bounce back, but hard to maintain the level of play after coming from a state championship season. And this year so far, I think the Greenies, they've stayed modest about it. and they know that they have another good chance at repeating this year.
You know, Will, I'm really glad you brought that up. And speaking with Coach Miles yesterday, you know, I said, you know, last year the team won its first state championship. You had a bunch of guys who achieved a goal they had been searching for, had been attempting to reach for a long time. How do you stay focused? And he said, you know, surprisingly, this group, the vibe is incredibly different. You know, the team chemistry, the team culture that we have has been fantastic, not just because of the guys that came back from this, but the culture that's been created over the years here. And, you know, the results and successes that we've seen so far this year have really come from that team chemistry. You know, there isn't as much pressure, I think, this year. You know, last year we lost in the state championship. A lot of people thought, you know, well, we've got to win this year. We have to win this year. And I think some of the guys felt pressure from that. And now these guys are kind of just able to relax and play. And, you know, they're really enjoying the experience, even though they have that same goal. So, you know, that the leadership we saw from the guys who graduated last year, Jonah Roberts, as well on defense, you know, these guys have learned from them and are now ready to, you know, kind of create their own path and, you know, create their own experiences, their own memories. So that turnover from Vines, you know, I don't know if it's the conditions or we're getting a little sloppy. You know, we talked about trying to make sure that the guys are, you know, passing the ball on offense. But, you know, last 4 possessions, don't know if we've gotten a shot. We've turned it over a couple times. This could, you know, easily be a 6-3, a 7-3 game if we've gotten some shots on goal, just with how well the Greenies have been shooting lately. Great ground ball pick up there by Bo Hekimovich in goal. Great pass over from Dyer to McNichols.
And the Greenies successfully clear that one as well.
That's Grindy. Try to make a pass into Brzezinski. It looks like Greenies were looking for a foul there, but no turnover. The ball stayed in from going out of bounds. I think after those recent turnovers, Greenies trying to slow down, make sure they get a good shot.
So another successful clear. Both teams doing a great job so far this game, clearing the ball. I mean, both teams as well doing a good job riding and slowing down transitions, but so far it's just a clean game. I mean, there's been some turnovers from, I don't know if it's the rain or just lazy passes, but other than that, it's been a pretty clean game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Will. You know, I think defensively there's been some good pressure, which has probably forced the guys, you know, along the rain to attempt some more difficult passes. But, you know, so far, you know, 5-3, it might seem like it's been a pretty decent amount of goals, but I was going to say it is a defensive battle. So unfortunately, it looks like the goal will be good, and then after the fact, there's going to be a personal foul. I think that's going to be on number 21, Hunter Vines, with 144.
It's going to be number 27,
Oh,
Max
27.
Bree.
Okay. So that'll be, was that a 1-minute penalty?
Yes.
Yeah, 1-minute penalty. So he will be released at 44 seconds. So you're up 2. They scored a tough goal. It looks like somebody lost their man there. They're going to call a penalty. And now they are man up, down 1. With under 2 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, and since it was a late penalty, it looks like there's not going to be a face-off. It's just going to be immediate possession for John Carroll. So they're going to get another chance here on EMO.
Yeah, weren't able to complete their last face-off. They're 0 for 1 this game, but they did get 4 shots off. I think 2 of them were on goal, saved by Bo. 2 were well off the goal. So if as long as the Greenies can hold off here and get possession, it'd be great to go in the half with the lead, even if just 1 goal advantage. But, the last thing you want is man up for the Patriots to score and have the momentum heading into the second half.
As they do right there, that was number 14. That is his first of the day. And like you said, that's not what the Greenies could afford at this point late in the first half.
Yeah, I think I jinxed it. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the blame for that one. But looks like Max Bree will be released in a very important 1 minute and 7 seconds for the Greenies here. At the very least, want to go into the half tied. Important face-off here. Get possession and really trying to get a good shot or 2 heading into the half.
And what Coach Miles has always said to the team, lacrosse is a game of runs. And with 2 really good teams, that's what it comes down to. We noticed, first off, John Carroll started off with a 2-goal run, then Christ School answered with 3 straight, and it's just back and forth sort of between streaks as John Carroll wins the face-off.
Good defense there. That's number 12. Marcus Berger picking it up. Coach Miles with a great timeout with 54 seconds remaining, tie game. For those of you who are unaware, just joining us, we mentioned at the in the pregame that Jeff Miles attended John Carroll, played lacrosse for them. So it's a very special game for him. He welcomed them here. They're on their spring break. Probably not the weather they were hoping for, but they're here, and he said it's symbolic of the growth, trying to create a program here like the one that he played for, but. He wasn't one to mince words. He said he wanted to win against his former school. So, Coach Miles is going to be coaching as hard as he possibly can today. And let's see what he drew up with 54 seconds remaining in the half.
I'll go ahead and tell you what he drew up. If you watch number 21, Hunter Vines, he's not in right now, but he's about to run onto the field from the box. Sean Dow, number 25, will step off real quick. And Alex Byron's going to hit him on the run.
I'm not going to lie. I've never played lacrosse, but if I was trying to run a play, I would probably give it to Hunter Vines as well.
And looks like a clock malfunction.
Yeah, very animated coaches there on the John Carroll sideline. It looks like about 14 seconds ran off the clock, so they're going to fix it here.
But yeah, that's the classic play for Christ School. Last year was Jonah Roberts hitting Hunter Vines on stride. I can't tell you how many goals that actually led to. But so far I've seen it work a couple times this year for the Greenies. That one went a little too far. So a timeout by John Carroll, their last one of the first half, here with just a little time left.
Yes, they're going to put 44 seconds on the clock, so 10 seconds ran off there. We're going to need a good defensive possession here from the Greenies to take this into the half, 5-5.
So with the rain really coming down right now, John Carroll has 44 seconds to not only clear it from their own GLE, but they've got to get it upfield and quick. So we'll see what they drew up right there with that timeout. And Christ School, they just can't afford to give up a goal. As they get it over midfield and into the hands of number 27. But it looks like they're going to try to sub real quick. Not much time. 20 seconds left. And a drop pass, but picked right back up. And they've got to go 10 seconds. John Carroll gets a shot off, but Bo Hekmovich with a great save. And he's just going to throw it downfield. Clears it. So a great play there by the Greenies to end out the first half. A much-needed play. They could not afford to have gone down there after leading 6-4 for the majority of the second quarter. So at the end, 5-3. So at the end of the first half, Greenies and John Carroll tied 5 apiece. Goals from Hunter Vines, Davis Lindsay, Zach Grindy, and some great key saves by Bo Hekmovich, like that last one we just saw. So, Coach Long, it's tied 5-5. What do you think the Greenies need to do to get that edge in the second half?
You know, one of the things that we saw at the beginning of the game, once we had those 3 goals in a row, was great touch passing. And I think, and actually all of our goals have been assisted. I think one of the things that we missed here in the last couple of minutes when we were up 5-3 that we could have taken advantage of are about 6 or 7 situations in which we turned the ball over consecutively. I don't even think we got a shot off. So, I think one of the things that the coaches are going to tell the guys are, hey, we really got to take care of the ball, make sure we get a good shot. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive, but when that aggressiveness is leading to turnovers and no opportunities to truly score, that's going to be the issue. So we have about 8 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here in the halftime period, and we will be back shortly with our first ever broadcast of Christ School Lacrosse.
The primary job at Christ School is to develop a young man and his future. Coming to a school like this, they get to be the captain of their own ship. They get to make choices that have benefits. Learning to do business with adults and being their own self-advocate, I don't know if there's anything more important than that.
Yeah, relationships are at the core of what we do. We don't want people to just be passengers throughout this entire experience. We want them to be drivers.
When my son came as a 9th grader, it was kind of normal. You met your teacher on the first day of class. But after you've been here a year, it's so wonderful because by the time you go into, let's say, 10th grade and you go to see your teachers for the first time, you've already probably either had them as a coach or had meals with them in the dining hall.
I think that the relationship with teachers especially, from my experience, is just really close. So it's small classes, really intimate with the teacher. Even during extra help or after school, you can schedule meetings or even just show up.
I came to Christ School this year, so it's just been really supportive. Everybody's been really nice, and I've already met a lot of people. I can go someplace and all of the teachers know my name, which is just a great experience that you can't get in a lot of places.
Each boy comes here with a narrative, with experiences, with quirks, with a sense of humor. We like that. What we want to do is to develop that. So at graduation, I've got an 18-year-old boy crossing the stage that's fully engaged and fully functional and ready for the next step in his life.
The way the teachers teach, totally boy-centered, because they know through research that boys like a louder voice. They like a teacher that's moving around the room. The boys want to interact with the teacher.
I've gotten into things, digital photography, like that I wouldn't usually do at home or at another school.
The course load is difficult in a way, but you have people who can support you and help you through it.
The Christ School campus is located in a very unique area. We're 8 miles from downtown Asheville and all the amenities that they offer. But more importantly, we have these 500 pristine acres where a boy can be a boy. If he wants to run through the woods, if he wants to fish, if he wants to ride his mountain bike through the 5 miles of cut trails, this is just an awesome venue.
For boys, it's a dream world here in the mountains with so many outdoor adventure sports all around that they can get to quickly, but at the same time to have what downtown Asheville offers with all of the arts and the different activities, it's just a perfect location for this school.
There's a bond here, there's a brotherhood where they watch each other's backs, they support each other, whether it's on the stage in drama, whether it's on the football field, whether it's on the community service trip. There is a special camaraderie here that you can only really experience if you come and see it and meet our young men. It is one of the most impressive things and the thing that I'm probably most proud of here at Christ School.
All right, we are back. 5-5, Christ School versus John Carroll. Second half. Got Jack McLaughlin taking the face off. It's going to be interesting to see how this this weather makes things difficult, not only for passing, which we talked about earlier, but for the footing for the players as well.
Yeah, more specifically ground balls, which have been key so far in changing possession. So players got to be extra careful about picking those up, especially how this game's gone so far, where it's been a cluster at times. Players just need to communicate. I think they'll be able to pick up and move the ball quite easily if they can do that. As John Carroll, another early goal.
Yeah, tough shot there by number 34. Tough angle. Surprised he got that pass, Hekimovic. But, you know, that's you talked about a game of runs. That's 3 in a row for John Carroll after Christ School is up 5-3. So hopefully, just like we saw in the first quarter, Christ School can take a deep breath, realize we've been here before, and you know, win some face-offs and get a chance. I honestly can't tell you the last time that we got a shot off. I think it was at least 6 minutes ago in total game time. So it'll be important for the Greenies here to get a defensive stop or, you know, get the face-off and get a goal here early.
As McLaughlin's successful in winning that face-off. And some sort of call. But Christ School's going to keep possession as the ball gets in the hands of the stick of Hunter Vines as he's going down and finds Lindsay.
What a play. That was, I mean, that's a transition goal right there if I've ever seen one. You know, honestly, I think one of the most fun things to see is Hunter Vines at full speed. Defensively, you know, if your defender's backing up, backpedaling, not much you can do. It looks like he got a pass across the field, changed sides of the field over to Lindsay, and just it looks like the defender's just lost in there as he kind of hid behind the goal for a second. And just had a one-on-one situation, 4 or 5 ball fakes, and we are tied here 6-6.
As John Carroll wins the face-off. But it looks like number 43 for John Carroll coming up, or a little shooken up after that one. Got smacked on the leg. And number 14 for John Carroll with an incredible shot with a man right on him. Put that off-hip lower corner on Bo Hekimovic. Hard shot for any goalie to save. Nonetheless, one that you're being screened by, so unlucky there for Bo, but a good shot for John Carroll and a good answer to Christ School's recent goal.
Great face-off win there. There's a shot by Zach Grindy, or Maine with Christ School. It's Jack Harrison with it back up to Sean Dow. So we have Dow, Vines, Grindy, Manning, Harrison, and Lindsay. Good job there by Davis Lindsay, staying on his feet. Felt like he got pushed.
Yeah, and the conditions really being shown right here and the effect that it has on the players as Hunter Vine slips as well.
Yeah, good job by Hunter, who fell down, was able to keep possession. Is that going to be a, looks like that was a pass. So the Patriots will take over possession, 8:48 here in the third quarter remaining. Well, forgive me for not knowing this, but how many seconds do you have to get the ball to get a touch?
So the team has 20 seconds from once they get possession to get a touch inside the restraining box. It used to be different where a team would have, I believe, 10 seconds to get across midfield and then another 15 seconds or so to get it into the restraining box. But they recently changed that, I believe, 2 years ago.
Great swarm of defense by Bree and Byron, McNichols and Brzezinski. Much needed defensive play there as Davis Lindsay has it on the opposite side of the field. Ball over to Harrison on the near side.
Greenies need a nice long possession. Defense is a little worn out. Been getting a lot of action so far this third quarter, so it'd be great to see if they could just settle this one and get a good shot off.
Yeah, Grindy nearly called for a ward there as he used his hand to push the stick away. There we go. All right, well, it looks like we're going to see the same situation we had last time. Amazing pass from Lindsay to Vines, who's lifted off his feet after the goal. That's going to be a 1-minute penalty. So will there be a face-off, or are they just going to get possession, do you think?
It should be a possession. Yeah, it's going to be man up, no face. So like you said, an incredible play there by Hunter. That shows why he is the goal leader for the Greenies. And he's their go-to guy.
Yeah, he's 34 so far on the season. I'm going to ask you a little trivia question here. Do you know what the record is for most single-season goals and who it was?
I believe it was Joey Sinkey with 72 last year.
Well, because I have the stats right here, if I could just go through it, you would be correct. Joey Sinkey.
How many was it?
72. Well done.
Well, that's what happens when you do the stats for the team.
Fair enough.
Oh, as Davis Lindsay, unlucky, hits the pipe, and Hunter Vines runs it into his own teammate. And a push. So John Carroll's going to get the ball as the Greenies fail to execute on EMO. And John Carroll successful in clearing yet again.
Oh, Will, I wasn't a math major, but with the stats here in front of me, with 34 goals on the season from Vines, he has 158 career, which is just 18 shy of tying Joey Sinque for the all-time lead. So he's had a pretty good career, I'd say, so far here as a Greenie. Transition opportunity. Brzezinski to Grindy. Grindy to Davis. Good save there at point-blank range from number 2. Really solid goalie for the Patriots, but he turns it over, and we have McNichols.
So a little back and forth action there. Two good defensive stops, I guess, if you're trying to stop transition goals. Not too well on the offensive side, though, for either team. But the Greenies somehow get possession, and they'll try to take the lead. And Hunter Vines himself hits the bar, about rolled in. But John Carroll going to try to clear.
Yeah, it's a third or fourth goal that's, shot attempt that's gone off the post for the Greenies. Tough luck there. But, you know, one of the things I've noticed so far in this half is they've done a much better job getting shots off, not forcing turnovers or like forcing passes that would lead to turnovers. So, you know, we've had about 6 or 7 shot opportunities and just 1 turnover in the second half. That's the kind of ratio you're looking for if you want to stay in the game, especially with a team of this caliber coming in.
Yeah, and they haven't been hesitant either this second half to take shots, which is good because, honestly, this goalie hasn't made too many big-time saves yet. But, I mean, he is a solid goalie, so they do have to be careful with their shots. As that was a big-time defensive stop for the Greenies, giving them.
As you mentioned in the second quarter, things getting a little chippy. I don't know if that's because with the, you know, the rain coming here and it's been difficult to get the footing that they had. You know, a lot of guys been bumping into each other, which has caused the players and definitely the players on the sidelines to get a little bit more animated on every call. So with, you know, 15 minutes left in the game, you hope that things can at least settle down a little bit on that aspect.
Yeah, so Greenies, they're really going to need a big-time stop on this one, especially. Can't afford to go into the fourth quarter down a goal. Be great if they could get a lead and maintain it and just finish out this game because they've definitely had the chances to lead this whole entire game. They've had all the opportunities, just haven't been able to finish some of them.
You know, honestly, a lot of the shot attempts that have been converted by John Carroll have been some difficult angles. That is the 6th or 7th combined shot that has been off the post. I don't feel like I normally see that many shots off the post, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good shot selection right there for John Carroll. Had a great opportunity. Defense, there was no slide or coma slide, or not coma slide, but just no second slide for the Greenies.
Great defense there. Bo Hekimovic getting all the way out there playing some defense. Looks like the ball will remain with the Patriots. But like we said, I mean, things are getting a little chippy here. You know, I'd hope that the, you know, refs could blow the whistle and could maybe bring both the coaches in or, you know, tell the guys, you know, we got to just play lacrosse here.
There's no question about that, but it is always good to see a physical game.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, these guys care. It doesn't matter this isn't an in-state game or, you know, that it doesn't count. ultimately towards seeding in the playoffs. Both these teams want this win. You know, I think the guys, John Carroll, are traveling all the way here for spring break. You know, having lost their last 3, they want to win here. And I know the Greenies want to continue to prove that, you know, North Carolina lacrosse is formidable and can compete against some of these teams from the Northeast, while also the guys probably hoping to get a win for Coach Miles as he faces his alma mater. We're going to have a flag thrown.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. It looked like, I believe it was McNichols or Lilly, either one. Yeah, it looks like it was McNichols who's going to be called for the penalty. I guess a cross-check or high to the head. But honestly, the stick was held high, and I thought he got stick on that one. But I know the coaches for Christ School thought so as well. But John Carroll's going to go man up here with just a little time left in the third quarter.
Yeah, 43.9 there on that penalty. So he will remain out even at the beginning of the fourth quarter, unless, of course, John Carroll's able to score here. That would be a great defensive possession. A great possession, is needed from the Greenies as that shot sails wide. They're averaging about, 2 or 3 shots per man-up possession. Only converted 1 out of 3 so far. So if we can keep that trend going, we can hopefully go into the fourth quarter tied, while Bo Hekimovich, fantastic defensive play there, getting a save, I believe his 10th or 11th of the game. All right, so it looks like we will go into the fourth quarter tied at 7. Great save by Bo Hekimovich in the man-up situation, but Christ School will remain man down for at least 13 or so seconds, 17 or so seconds to start the fourth quarter. How do you feel like that third quarter went for the Greenies?
I didn't enjoy watching that third quarter for the Greenies. I mean, they did improve their shot selection during that quarter, but I mean, towards the end, they've got to be aware of what's going on right there with Marcus Berger. You've got to hold on to possession. You can't attempt to throw a full field pass and turn it over, because now John Carroll's going to start the fourth quarter with possession.
And man up.
So careless mistake right there. But, I mean, just on behalf of all the Greenies, they've got to be aware of what's going on.
All right, while we're waiting for this fourth quarter to start, Will, I'll give you another trivia question here. All right. So how long have you been at Christ School?
This is my 4th year.
All right, that wasn't the question. You did get that right, though. So in your 4 years, you've seen quite a few players here. You've probably heard about a bunch of names. So if I were to say, name 5 out of the 6 all-time point leaders in Christ School history, could you name 5 of those people?
Yeah, I'll take a guess at it. I'll start off with Hunter Bynes, Riley Smith, Joey Sinkyu. I'll just say Will Iorio.
Yep, second all-time. So now 2 guys that were a little bit before your time.
I'm going to say, to be honest, I don't know, but maybe Cole. I can't remember Cole's last name. He was from Canada. No, I'll give up on that one.
Taylor Bethia. I hope I'm not saying that right. And Gibbs McEachran are 3rd and 4th all-time. 4th and 5th all-time. Hunter Vines has moved up to 3rd, just 12 or 13 points away from Will Iorio, who is a fantastic player for the Greenies, who's now starting for the Coast Guard. And they've had a fantastic start to their season. They defeated, I can't remember who it was, but they defeated one of the top-ranked teams in the country early in the season. So we're going to get a hold called on the Patriots. I believe that's a 30-second penalty. Is that right? So at 11:09, a 30 seconds off for number 27, man-up situation converted 2 out of the 4, I believe, in this situation. It's a big possession for the Greenies. It'd be nice to get on the board early in the 4th, take that lead.
So a 30-second penalty. The Greenies either got to get a quick shot off or just got to settle it and start working the offense.
That's Sean Dow with it up top. Over number 16, that's Grindy. That is perfect execution by the Greenies. Grindy to Hunter Vines, who that's his 5th goal of the game. You know, when you talk about man-up situations, especially ones in which there are only 30 seconds, that is exactly how you want to play it. Move the defense, move the ball, and take advantage of a great shot. You know, in preparation for this broadcast, Will, I was watching the Episcopal game from last year, and one of the things that the announcers said about Hunter Vines was the fact that he has such good ball fakes, and it's one of the things you don't really see on face-up situations. Didn't quite know what that meant, but as the defenders are coming up to him, he's able to, you know, have a good ball fake, get that guy out of position and take advantage. So, you know, one of the things that he did so well last year, looks like he's continuing to do that, and that was a really important goal for Christ School.
So big time possession here for John Carroll as we are in the 4th quarter. It's always important to get a good shot off with the time slowly running down and this late in the game. So we'll see what they can do here as Christ School. They need a big time stop. And that'll start with the communication, which Christ School's been doing a good job of so far, only holding John Carroll to 7 goals, which is always a good sign, but there's always room for improvement.
You know, I think that communication comes from the leadership we have so far, or we've had with these guys. You know, we had Coach Miles mentioned a couple of our senior captains. We have Hunter Vines and Alex Byron and Max Bree, and these guys are truly leaders for the Greenies. And I think it's one of those reasons why we see such great team chemistry they saw this year. Not to say that we haven't had it in years past, but they just said that, you know, a bunch of new guys this year, it's really important that your captains do a great job of making sure everyone feels involved, everyone feels, you know, part of the team, and you know that communication is what is how you see success on and off the field.
So a save there by Bo Hegemovich, and Will McNichols, number 7, is going to get the GB and finds Marcus Berger. So Greenies, good defensive stop right there as they successfully clear it.
That was big. You know, hopefully we can take advantage now. Going up 2 goals here in the 4th quarter would be big for Christ School as Lindsay. And Lindsay's had a couple turnovers this game. Fantastic player. Occasionally gets a little bit too fancy with the ball, but, you know, there isn't anybody I'd rather have on the field, to be honest.
You're right, but the biggest thing is just trying to slow it down a little bit as Jack Harrison with a great play right there.
You know, Jack Harrison's a goal scorer. He's great with the ball, but, you know, it's hustle plays like that that are putting Christ School in the position to win this game. Came out of nowhere one-handed, was able to kind of knock the ball out of the air over to Max Bree, taking it away from the Patriots, who had just gotten the ball for turnover. So great hustle play by Harrison.
You're right, and it gives the Greenies another chance, and right away, we saw the difference in decision-making from Davis Lindsay right there, slowing it down a little bit more as Jack Harrison gets doubled, and Davis Lindsay comes away with an important ground ball.
Looks like they called it maybe a timeout, Christ School. You know, one of the things I want to mention is that Jack Harrison came to us this year from Charlotte, and he was a big goal scorer for his team there. You know, he still has 3 goals and 9 assists on the season, but you know, one of the things I've been so impressed by is he's not a role player, let me say that, but just being able to do whatever it takes to help the team win. You know, he probably scored 40-some goals last year, and coming here, you know, some people might look, oh, you came to Christ School, you only have 3 goals, but it's the little things that he does for the team, putting the team in the right position. You know, really like widening the field for the Greenies, making sure a defender always has to guard him because they know what he's capable of. So I don't know if you see any of that in practice or what he's been like so far for Christ School.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, in games, in practice, the biggest factor in his game is that he limits his turnovers. You never see him in practice, or very, very rarely you see him in practice turn the ball over. And if he is, it's because he's trying to find the right pass that just gets deflected. But, I mean, in games, you're right. He doesn't score as much as Davis Lindsay or Hunter Vines or Zach Grindy even, but he's making the right passes, and that's setting the team up. And you'll always see, most of the time you'll see that transition goals, settle offense goals, he's always going to touch the ball before there's a shot or there's a goal. So the Greenies now with the 6 offensive guys, Coles Manning, Hunter Vines, Sean Dow, Zach Grindy, Davis Lindsay, Jack Harrison, the guys they want on the field during moments like this, crucial moments during the game, as they're just going to settle, and they've got to get the right shot off this game. Can't force anything. As Hunter Vines is going to settle things up. As Jack Harrison shoots, but a good save there by John Carroll's keeper, number 2.
Yeah, tough save there. Great pass from behind the net. Oh, wow. That was impressive. He's able to keep that in his stick.
So Greenies still in command with the 1-goal lead, and John Carroll, during this timeout, they've got to think they're down 1. They've got to get the offense sort of moving, the ball movement, and really get back in it with some shots. And so far, we've both said that they've been shooting a lot. They just haven't been falling. That's because Bo Hekimovich has been making great saves, or it's been hitting pipe or just barely going wide. But we'll see how they come out of this timeout and what their strategy is with just a little time left.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, important game for the Greenies. They will play tomorrow against Salesianum out of Delaware, one of the top teams in the country in the Champions Challenge, hosted by Team Carolina. It is a fantastic tournament that raises money for the Wounded Warrior Project. We played there last year. We had a fantastic game. I believe it was against Cardinal Gibbons. Is that right? Cardinal Gibbons, and just an amazing tournament. We will play CCNM, a great team. And then on Tuesday, we will be back here against Charlotte Catholic, one of the top teams in North Carolina. So this is an important game heading into the weekend, or a week of some really tough games. So Greenies want to make sure that for the next 6:33, they really leave it all out there.
Yeah, and a much-needed stop here so far. Really soaking the clock, John Carroll is, and I guess that's a good thing for the Greenies, as they're just trying to get away with a couple more possessions to really close out this game. As an outside shot by number 14 for John Carroll. He's been their go-to guy this whole afternoon.
Yeah, they went low there on Bo Hekimovich, which you mentioned. They've been trying to do from the beginning of the game. It was a tough shot. It would have been a save across the body for Hekimovich. He's been fantastic. He's had 12 saves so far. So, with about 6 minutes left in the game here, we are tied 8-8 with Sean Dow about to take the face-off. So the number 43 there for the Patriots, he's kind of a stand-up kneeling position there on the face-off. Why do some of the guys take such different ways to take the face-offs? Have you noticed there's a way that most of the guys take the face-off?
Yeah, so the traditional stance is what the majority of short stick face-off guys are doing, as Hunter finds it to Davis, who misses just wide. But what I was saying was Jack McClawhorn and Sean Dow will both do a traditional stance, one knee down, the other one up. But when you see someone with a D-stick or a long stick and they're taking the face off, Max Bree will do it sometimes. They'll stay in a standing position. That way they let the other guy win the face off and then right away start trying to check him. And
tough play there. It looked like Dodenhoff started running without the ball before he had it in there. So 5 minutes left. Possession for the Patriots. That was a big possession there for Christ School. It looks like we're trying to figure out defensively who's on. Everybody's matching up. Great defense by McNichols.
And a great GB there by Alex Byron and awareness to get it to Bo.
Big defensive play for the Greenies. McNichols, right as that guy caught the ball, he turned around right into Will, who was ready to – ooh, that's got to be a penalty, I would imagine. It ripped his helmet off. Or it's possible that Hunter just wanted everyone to see the locks. There is I have to be honest, don't know how he gets past that on the haircut. The hair rule here at Christ School, but a penalty is called. Is that going to be a 1 minute penalty for 27?
It looks like it's going to be 2 different penalties, maybe, I believe. So the first one's going to be a 1 minute penalty for a personal or unsportsmanlike, and then the other penalty is a 2 minute penalty locked in.
Wow.
For a hit to the head.
So they 2 men down right now?
Actually, they're going to be 1 man down. He's going to have, I think, I don't know exactly. I just know it's 2 minutes locked in at least.
So even if we score, you're saying he'll still be out. Okay, so big 2 minutes for the Greenies. Only 4 minutes remaining. That penalty literally could not have come at a worse time for the Patriots. So hopefully Christ School can take advantage as they turned it over last time. Jack Harrison of Dodge. Looked like he tried to bounce it between the legs of the goalie, who looked a little uncomfortable with the ball. What are they going to call there?
The goalie
took too long with it.
Yep. So crease violation on the goalie.
Man, that's a tough stretch there for the Patriots, picking up a 2 minute locked in penalty, as well as the goalie holding on for it too long. But sorry if that was loud. I got excited. That is Hunter Vines. Was that pass from Sean Dow?
I believe so. Number 25, Sean Dow, and number 21, Hunter Vines, with a great outside shot. And that's big, too, because Greenies will, I believe, continue to be man up on the face. It was a locked-in penalty. Be interesting.
Well, you know, it's hard to hear up here, but couldn't quite tell what the referee official said. But regardless, with 3:26 left in the game, up 9-8, if we can get possession here with Sean Dow taking the face-off, this would be huge for Christ School. Another goal, while it wouldn't put the game away, would make things a lot more comfortable for the Christ School faithful that are here.
It appears it wasn't locked in because it is going to be an even face as Sean Dow about wins the face-off, but Marcus Berger with a nice GB right there to keep Greenies possession, as Sean Dow, Max Bree, and Marcus Berger all helped Greenies win that face-off, which is a big one, as Davis Lindsay's going to slow it down and try to keep this Greenies lead.
So we are under 3 minutes, 2:48 remaining. Hunter Vines Looks like he's smartly going to just pass the ball around.
And Jack Harrison split the double, was able to get a shot off, but just went wide. Davis Lindsay's going to take it behind X.
It's a big possession for Christ School. You know, we've had some trouble with turnovers so far. It looks like they're trying to keep Coles on the left side of the field. They don't want to open it up. But, you know, big time possession for Christ School. That's Dodenhoff with it up top. We are under 2 minutes. Christ School leads by 1 over John Carroll.
And the refs are going to call keep it in. They're believing the Greenies are stalling, so Greenies will have to keep it in the restraining box. If they step out, it will be a turnover.
You know, if I would say the refs were right on that one. Christ School are trying to take all the time they can to lock this game. They're going to throw a double at Davis Lindsay. We got an open goal.
And a great stick somehow.
That's got a – sorry, I don't want to call it a penalty here, but sure enough, looks like Jack Harrison, who we said hadn't scored today but has been so important for Christ School all year, had kind of boxed the guy out, about to pick up the ball, and got shoved in the back. I know the John Carroll coach is not happy about that. However, you know, for me up here in the booth, you know, while I might be 50 feet away, this is clear as day.
Yeah, any cross-check to head is going to be an obvious foul, especially with the player, his back turned. So Greenies are going to be EMO for 1 minute.
Yeah, with just 1:29 left in the game. Do you think they're going to take a shot if they have it, or are they going to kind of try and hold it off? And
so most likely what will happen, John Carroll will be forced to send the goalie out and try to double, trying to get the possession back. And if that happens, I guarantee Greenies will definitely take advantage of that, try to find an open man with an open side on goal. You
know, we had an interesting situation last year, Providence Day. We led by 1, and they took the goalie out. They threw a double at, you know, I won't throw them under the bus here, but one of our players tried to split the double, unfortunately turned it over, and they came back and tied it up. Fortunately, we won in regulation, but you don't want a situation where, you know, splitting a double and having a wide open goal is just too inviting sometimes. And that's going to be another penalty on John Carroll, 31.
So that foul's going to be on number 31 on John Carroll. That's another minute penalty.
Yeah, with 39 left, Greenies will be in man up for the rest of the game regardless. Looks like right now they are
2 men up right now until this next penalty is released. How much time did you say it was?
Yeah, not much time. Honestly, I think he's released at 29, so 10 seconds left. But even when he gets in, they'll still be man down. So as long as Christ School can hold possession here, they will win this game 9-8. And they're going to probably just play keep away here. No reason to force anything.
Yeah, so the first penalty is released, so Christ School's still going to be 1 man up.
Grundy, that's Sean Dow. They're going to start throwing double teams. They're going to start throwing as many people as possible to try and get the ball away. We are under 15 remaining. Coach Miles is going to call a timeout. Fortunately, Hunter Vines, though, he went down, kept possession.
Yeah, so 15 or under 15 seconds left. Christ School with a timeout, and out of this timeout, they're definitely going to put it in the hands of Hunter Vines. But the thing we have to look out for and what we should expect is John Carroll's going to immediately double. So, yes, they are a man down, and they will be. So Greenies will have 1 man open, but the goalie for John Carroll will definitely be out of the cage, marking someone just trying to get a deflection or force a turnover. But most likely, I mean, if the ball is in the stick of Hunter Vines, I think you can be pretty sure that the Greenies are going to secure this win. And it's a big-time win if they can finish out these last couple of seconds. As things did get chippy in this second half, a little too chippy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, I can't tell you a game in which I've seen this many penalties called on both sides, honestly. And, you know, I think the men in the stripes did a good job of kind of, you know, they called all of them, I think, and it's what they probably they probably huddled up at the end of the third and they said, guys, you know, things are getting a little chippy. We got to start calling these penalties. Don't want anyone to get hurt. These are two teams coming in here recognizing how important this game is. Like I said, Christ School's got two huge games coming up tomorrow and Tuesday. John Carroll on a little bit of a losing streak, but they're still a fantastic team, playing some of the top teams in Maryland and 3 state championships in a row. So Hunter Vines, it looks like he's going to do his best job, and he's going to run the clock out, and that will be the game as Christ School will take a huge victory over the John Carroll Patriots out of Maryland, 9-8. You know, I have to be honest, some of the stuff that I saw Hunter Vines do out there today was incredibly impressive. 6 goals, 1 assist. Davis Lindsay, 2 goals, 3 assists. And, you know, some fantastic offensive players for the Patriots. Bo Hekimovich was
with 13 saves.
13 saves. Pretty unstoppable there for Christ School. And, you know, Christ School, for Coach Miles, he mentioned this was a very important game for a variety of reasons. One, playing a team from the Northeast, trying to show them what we're capable of and representing Christ School Lacrosse, but also, on the other hand, his alma mater. He used to wear the John Carroll jersey when he played, and so to get a victory over his alma mater and the program that he has helped build over these 17 years at Christ School has got to be a really exciting day for him. So, Will, what do you think? What do you think the Greenies did well here in the second half? Went into the half 5-5 and finished here winning the game 9-8.
I think they just executed. I think Coach Miles had a game plan at halftime coming in. All right, it's tied up. We've got to do these 3 things, and that was play some solid defense, limit the turnovers, and, I mean, just execute offensively, and that's exactly what they did. So, yes, was it a sloppy game? No question. Did it get chippy? Yes. But did the Greenies execute at the end of the game? That's what matters? Yes.
Absolutely right. Well, for all of you that joined us here at the Christ School Broadcast Network, this was our first ever showing of Christ School Lacrosse down in the newly built press box here on the lacrosse soccer field. And, you know, we're excited. We're happy that you joined us, and we'll be doing this for the rest of the season, hopefully having quite a few home games here in the playoffs like we had last year. We're lucky to, we earned hosting the state championship game. So hopefully we can bring you a lot more Christ School Lacrosse this year. And thank you for joining us. It's been fun.